So my guests today are dancers, but they're not just dancers, they are the dancers. They are choreographers, they are TV stars, best known for being the most glamorous and beloved couple on Strictly. Not only that, they're great friends of mine, and I'm absolutely thrilled to bits to be joined by James and Ola Jordan. Hooray!
I feel like we should be waltzing again.
Oh my gosh, I barely
all those
remember.
memories.
Oh gosh, he's really putting me on the spot here. Those memories, some of them I'd rather like to forget. How lovely to see you, though.
You too.
Do you know it was way back in 2013?
I know.
That I was paired with you on Strictly, or you were paired with me?
I know.
Is this
12 years
Is this the
younger.
time to tell the truth and say how you felt when they said to you, "You've got Vanessa Feltz"? What did you think?
I thought you was going to talk about the affair we had.
I didn't think you were going to bring it up so soon. I didn't. Okay, shall we get to the nitty-gritty?
Yeah.
There are no shocks for you here, Ola, I don't think.
No.
But it is true that when James and I started dancing together, he said to me, and these are the exact words because I've never forgotten them, they're seared upon my heart and soul.
Oh, no, what did he say?
He said to me, "Put your foo-foo on my thigh."
Oh, did I?
Yes, he did. And I think that was for the cha-cha-cha, was it?
What's James?
No, that would. I don't know. What's the foo-foo?
I knew immediately what he meant. And obviously I was putty in his hands because he's the dancer and I can't dance. And I didn't go to stage school. I went to actual school. I read English literature at Cambridge. What do I know about dancing? Nothing.
And I can count to 8.
Exactly.
That's about
So
it.
he says, "Put your foo-foo on my thigh." So obviously, obediently, I did this. And then, this is us
you did-
twiddling
you did
about.
do that.
This is us doing a lovely
Yeah.
waltz, actually.
It was really romantic.
It was actually
Look at
very
you.
lovely.
Beautiful.
And I would say for a really heady, insane, magical, you don't know what I'm going to say, do you? Look at him, he's looking at me like he doesn't know what I'm going to say. For an insane, I'd say 24 to 48 hours, I fell passionately in love with him. I had a partner at the time, I was happy in my relationship-ish, but I fell passionately in love with him. Then I remember you coming in to show me how a step should be done, and I kind of woke up like, what am I even thinking? This is ridiculous. But there is something intoxicating.
Did you fall in love
Of course
with him?
I did.
Oh, wow,
For
that's-
about 48 hours.
James Paul did it.
only 48 hours.
But I did, though. And I remember you came to do my radio show at the time at the BBC, and as you walked out, you walked into my heart was going like this. And I was 50, and I was about to be a grandma, and I was thinking, I love him. And then I thought, oh, come on, this is ridiculous. Grow
Snap
up,
out
don't be
of
an
it.
idiot. But I get the Strictly curse. I totally get it, don't you?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it necessarily a Strictly curse. I would just say it's yeah, it happens in all walks of life, but on Strictly you get to spend a lot of time with each other on a one-to-one basis.
Very physical,
It's very
very
physical.
touchy.
Yeah, and also I think that student-teacher relationship.
Which you're not used to.
Yeah.
You're a celeb, you think you're right, great,
Yeah.
I am, muscling in, and then suddenly you don't, in my case, didn't know a thing, and I was kind of looking up at you like the great guru, the great Svengali, and that's very attractive as well when somebody knows what they're doing and
Yeah.
really, really is the expert. It's a hell of a thing. And I imagine that if you're not really happy in your relationship, you could fall properly head over heels.
I get that. And a lot of the times on Strictly, you get people that get together that are single as well, which is amazing. It's only the times when they're not single that it necessarily causes any controversy. But I remember having many conversations with you. I remember at the very beginning, I said, how do you want to play this? There's 2 ways we can do this. We can do this where we go down the comedy route, or we go down the route where we might not get as far, but I'll never, ever make you look silly.
Yeah.
And I remember having those conversations with you, and you said, I don't mind how far I go as long as I don't look silly. And we did everything proper and kept it simple and beautiful. And you
was
had a great
beautiful.
time. We had a great time.
And, we were the last year with Brucey, 2013.
Yes.
With the
Yes.
wonderful Sir Bruce Forsyth. And when he said, keep dancing, I did it literally. I have.
Yeah.
Because you brought a great deal of joy to my life. But let me say something that I don't know whether people get when they're watching the show. You don't have to agree with me, but I think you form this very close bond with your professional because you start to feel as if you're almost in a bunker. You have 3 weeks at the beginning where it's just you and your professional, rehearsing every second. You can't sleep because you're going through
Yeah.
the steps in your mind and all of that. And you feel as if it's us two against the world. This
Yeah.
incredible
Bond.
closeness.
The bond that you have with
Yeah.
your partner is unbelievable. Imagine going in a competition really far as well. It takes
What you're
Yeah.
saying because we didn't go far in the
No,
competition?
no, but
Are you
there
trying to
is a
tell us that
bond.
we have to
Because
imagine
I
that?
still think
You
we
know,
were robbed.
Yeah, we were
That
robbed.
Julian McDonald should, he should have gone, and we should still be in now. We should still be in.
No,
It
but
never
what
should
I'm
have-
saying is, like with Chris Hollins, for example,
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him for quite a while, but I know that if he rings me tomorrow, we have that bond
Yeah.
that no one can ever take away
Yeah.
from
And that
us.
Charleston that you did together, that was something very
Yeah,
special.
you've
And
got loads of lovely memories.
He didn't expect to win. Did you
No.
think he could?
No,
Did you think you
when
would?
I saw Chris, then I thought halfway, if I'm lucky, we
Really?
get halfway.
Really?
But then we worked so hard, and I was very pushy, and he took it, and yeah.
He
So
was
it's
so
interesting
lovable.
that you say very pushy,
Yeah.
because obviously we all know there's been this enormous controversy about Strictly and whether
Yes.
there's, you know, what goes on
Yes.
behind the scenes. And, you know, you say you were pushy.
Yes, I
Could
was.
it be that life has got so woke and people have got so woke that they think if you talk to them sternly, or if you're authoritative, or if you give their foot a push with your foot, which I think I remember you vaguely doing to me, just saying, they're
Probably.
not there like this. I don't
Yeah.
know if they can see my foot,
Yeah.
but I'm slightly pushing my foot
Yeah.
over using your foot. Because otherwise you're talking, and talking is a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, just move it here, boom, like that. Do you think that it could be that some celebs are so woke that they won't even take it? They say they're being bullied?
I definitely think that's part of it, in my opinion. Go on, you...
Yeah, I think, you know, for me, like, for example, if I take Chris Hollins, he took it so well. You know, I did push him hard. I wanted to win. I remember that year I said to James, I'm going to win this year. I don't care who's I'm going to get, I'm going to win this. We just worked so hard, and he let me push him. And some people are a bit more, maybe gentle, a bit more.
Precious.
I remember one of my partners said, oh, maybe you're going too hard on me. So I had to step back, and I was like, fine. You know, I'm not going to push
But
you as
are you
hard.
surprised after all these years of Strictly and all those millions of hours in rehearsal rooms all over the country that it erupted into the controversy that happened with Amanda Abington and Giovanni and Vito and Zara McDermott?
Yeah.
Does it surprise you?
No, I mean, the thing is, you're talking about two isolated, I feel, incidents that we don't want to comment on too much because
we don't really know what happened
We weren't
behind
there, so
doors.
it's very difficult for us to say.
OK, I'll tell you what I think, because I
Yeah.
don't mind what they
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
I think that when they paired me with James, they didn't do it because they thought we'd be the best dancers, and they didn't do it because they thought we looked nice and harmonious as a beautiful couple. Only my view, I can't prove it, but I think they paired me with James because they thought we were going to be at loggerheads.
We said exactly the
Absolutely.
same
We
thing.
always said this.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it backfired because we got on really well.
Straight away.
But if we didn't get on, actually, we would have probably stayed in the competition longer.
Because they would have liked to see
Because
us.
they would have liked to see the controversy. But now they don't want to see that necessarily.
Yes, but
because
they
the world
certainly
has changed.
didn't they?
Yes. Oh, I believe that.
So that kind of leads us to believe, we can't prove it, we're only suggesting, that, you know, there are machinations going on that aren't just, well, he'd be good with her, she'd be good with him, those two guys would be great together. There's more than that they're looking for, they could be looking for anyway. Friction, you know, fireworks.
Yeah, 100%. The
stuff.
same as when I first started Strictly, my first year on Strictly, there were things that happened that they said to me, you're going to be the bad boy, you're going to be the new bad boy. And I kind of played up to that, and I liked it at the time. But then after a while, I started thinking, well, actually, this isn't going, because this isn't really me. So people were judging me on something that isn't necessarily me. Yes, I am outspoken, and I do like talking a lot, and I'm very opinionated.
You love giving
like
Craig
talking?
a what for, don't
Yeah,
you?
but
That you enjoyed, I must say.
Exactly, I did, but it doesn't make
If
me
it's Craig, you don't mind, do you?
It doesn't, no, exactly. But it doesn't make me a bad person necessarily.
No.
But
Because
the
we're
other
voicing
incidents you're
opinion, yes.
speaking about, we don't know enough about it to comment on it. No. I mean, back in our day, we didn't have things like chaperones and things like that. I remember I said to Brendan Cole when we do our Legends tour, part on the Legends tour, I said, imagine if we had chaperones back in our day, you'd still be with Camilla.
Oh, I wonder what he's going to say about
Controversial.
that.